6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Dilini Gunawardena and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. Sri Lanka is to focus on green entrepreneurship. Special public transport services are in place after New Year holidays. Plans are underway to make new economic laws to embed structural reforms. The Uma Oya multipurpose project will be inaugurated expeditiously. The national parks of the island earned a record income during the first quarter of the year. In foreign news, Israeli military warns Palestinians not to return to the northern Gaza. Sports news, New Zealand cricket team will arrive in Pakistan. The United Nations recently selected Sri Lanka as one of the 7 UN World Restoration Flagships for its pioneering efforts in mangrove restoration. As the next step of restoration process, a meeting was held with the Managing Director of iLead International Academy, which has come up with a comprehensive plan to promote green entrepreneurship in the country and to develop mangroves with the involvement of the youth. The plan suggests that green entrepreneurship would create a sustainable mechanism for maintenance and growth of mangroves in the country. The plan points out that the acceleration in efforts to further expand the area under mangroves would require reintroduction of a more systematic and scientific community-led effort to plant mangroves in the island. A large number of youths in the coastal areas of the country would be developed as green entrepreneurs to take this effort forward. This would help Sri Lanka to continue claiming the global leadership in its efforts towards ecosystem protection, restoration and growth. The National Transport Commission said special bus services are in operation today and tomorrow for people to return to Colombo after the Sinhala and Tamil New Year holidays. The chairman of the NTC, Sasi Wegama, stated that the additional buses have been deployed according to the requirements of passengers. Meanwhile, the Department of Railways announces that 8 special train services are in place from Badulla, Galle and Beliatta railway stations to the Colombo Fort railway station. Treasury Secretary Mahinda Siriwardena said Sri Lanka is making new laws and also revising old legislation following a comprehensive review of past experiences and lessons learned. He was quoted as saying, "Most of the new laws focus on structural changes of the existing executive and administrative structures." The Secretary made these remarks in a speech to ministry officials recently. The laws are related to public finance, procurement, public-private partnership, state enterprises and offshore economy. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and we continue with local news. Minister Mahinda Amarweera says that plans are afoot to inaugurate the Uma Oya development project expeditiously. Currently, the project is in the final phase. In the year 2011, the Uma Oya multipurpose project embarked on its journey, initially supported by a loan from the Export Development Bank of Iran. The project ensures water supply to approximately 15,000 acres of paddy fields during both the Yala and Maha seasons. Beyond irrigation, it also meets the drinking water needs of residents in Badulla, Munaragala and the Bandarawala districts. The Wildlife Conservation Department has reported that the national parks have earned over 2,000 million rupees between January and March this year from both local and foreign tourists. In the past 3 months, over 200,000 foreign tourists have visited these national parks, with Yala National Park being the most popular with over 100,000 visitors. Other national parks such as Wasgamuwa, Kumana, Vilpattuwa, Bundala, Mineria, Udawalawe and Kaudulla have also seen a significant number of foreign tourists. The Director General of the department, Chandana Suryabandara, said that the income earned in these 3 months will be a record income. He further expressed confidence that the income earned by the national parks will increase this year in comparison to last year. And that ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
The police records reveal that 8 fatal accidents have taken place in several areas of the island during the last 2 days. 10 people have died from the accidents and another 10 people are reported to be seriously injured and hospitalized. The drivers are requested to refrain from speed driving and drunk driving during the festival season. They are further advised to adhere to traffic rules.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
We now take a look at Watchlight. The Met Department warns that thunder showers accompanied by severe lightning are likely to occur in several places in the western Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in the Galle, Matara, Kandy and Nuwara districts. It further predicts the possibility of temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. The general public is kindly requested to avoid using wired telephones and connected electric appliances during thunderstorms and to also avoid using open vehicles such as bicycles, tractors, boats and the rest. They are further asked to beware of fallen trees and power lines.
Coming up, World News.
First, the headlines. Israeli military warns Palestinians not to return to northern Gaza. Ukraine's power plants are at the mercy of Russian missiles. Donald Trump's historic hush money trial is to begin in New York today. The Israeli army renewed warnings for Palestinians not to return to Gaza's north a day after its forces opened fire on civilians. The military said Palestinians should stay in southern Gaza, where they have been told to shelter because the north is a dangerous combat zone. Hospital authorities in Gaza said at least 5 people were shot by Israeli forces while trying to head north. The Israeli military had no immediate comment on casualties. Meanwhile, the returnees said they were prompted to make the journey north because they were fed up with the prevailing unbearable conditions. Drone and missile attacks by Russia on Ukraine's energy infrastructure are reported to be frequent and massive. They often include the same Iranian-made Shahed drones launched by Tehran at Israel. President Zelensky said the sound of those drones, whether over the Middle East or in Europe, must serve as a wake-up call for the free world. Officials in Ukraine say they can count on the thermal and hydro power plants across the country that are not yet badly damaged or totally destroyed. However, Russia's assault has not stopped. Donald Trump will set foot in a New York courthouse today and become the first former U.S. president to stand trial in a criminal case. He is accused of falsifying his business records to disguise a hush money payment made to a former adult film star shortly before the 2016 election. Mr. Trump faces a maximum of 4 years in jail if convicted, but could avoid jail time and be fined instead. He has pleaded not guilty. Mr. Trump's historic trial will take place against the backdrop of his presidential campaign. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Israeli military warns Palestinians not to return to northern Gaza. Ukraine's power plants are at the mercy of Russian missiles. Donald Trump's historic hush money trial is to begin in New York today. And that ends this bulletin of world news. Right now we take a look at development news. The Sri Lanka-Pakistan Business Council of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce recently paid a courtesy call on the newly appointed High Commissioner of Pakistan in Sri Lanka, Major General retired Fahim ul Aziz. During the visit, both parties expressed their intention to collaborate closely for the future development of economic, tourism and investment opportunities between the two countries. Additionally, they discussed the potential for developing Buddhist pilgrimages to Pakistan. The visit concluded positively, with both parties expressing optimism for future collaborations and mutual benefit.
Moving on with sports news.
The New Zealand cricket team will arrive in Pakistan for a match tour. 3 T20 matches are to be played between the two nations. The first match will be played in Rawalpindi on Thursday. The other 2 matches are to be played on the 25th and 27th of this month, and that was sports news.
Go ekakthiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීත හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Mallika Hemachandra Jewellers offers some astonishing launches to brighten up this Aurudu season, including a stunning 22-carat pearl jewellery collection, a vibrant coloured stone jewellery collection, exquisite 22-carat gold bracelets and designer chains, and a dazzling diamond jewellery collection to add sparkle to the festivities. Mallika Hemachandra Jewellers partnered with leading banks and financial institutions, offers up to 40% discounts and easy payment plans of up to 24 months until the 20th of April, and that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakthiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීත හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
A look at economic news. Market analysts said the all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange crossed the 12,000 points mark last week for the first time since the 21st of February 2022. The bullish trend extended due to the prevailing favourable outlook on Sri Lanka's external debt restructuring exercise. They further added that the banking sector counters contributed more than 50% of the turnover.
Weather report.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the western, Sabaragamu, central and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Matara districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the eastern and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota district. Several spells of showers may occur in the north-central province. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and in the Galle and Matara districts during the morning hours. Fairly heavy showers of about 75 millimetres are likely at some places in the western, Sabaragamu and northwestern provinces. To end this evening's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. Sri Lanka is to focus on green entrepreneurship. Special public transport services are in place after New Year holidays. Plans are underway to make new economic laws to embed structural reforms. The Uma Oya multipurpose project will be inaugurated expeditiously. The national parks of the island earned a record income during the first quarter of the year. In foreign news, Israeli military warns Palestinians not to return to northern Gaza. And in sports news, New Zealand cricket team will arrive in Pakistan. And that ends this evening's news broadcast. The time is 29 minutes past 6 o'clock. This is Radio Sri Lanka.